have an answer for you. However, one of the things that we are doing tonight is keeping track of the questions that are asked. And what we want to do is keep a running question answer, not only to provide to our stakeholders here, however, on our website, as far as social media, ongoing about budget questions that are asked about Payson Unified School District. So Leslie, we will get that. Katrina, do you want to speak to it? But are you also asking, Leslie, how much does the state spend on state testing? And I think that's something that would be interesting to know that number as well. So it's not an ugly question. Any others? Yes. Yes, ma'am. There you are. Oh, good. Crystal, thank you for asking, and you're not. You're actually getting an increase, a percentage of I think it's 3.2. I'd have to double check, and I don't have that right in front of me. Actually, the base that is being proposed on the salary schedule for classified and hourly employees, the base is going up, as well as those employees are also receiving an additional step. By 15 minutes, yes. Crystal, Yes, thank you for asking. And so two things I'm going to back up first, Crystal, because I think the passion I hear, and I know what you do within our self-contained classroom here, and have been a key part of that classroom running as smoothly as it does on a daily basis. So thank you for that. I'm happy to go over, and we can with HR or personally one-on-one to see where you're at, to understand that that base of the hourly salary schedule is increasing in the step, to make that more clear. I can tell you that there is an agenda item with the board to discuss potentially additional pay, possibly for all employees on top of that, but that's a board decision and is on the agenda for Monday's night as well. And there is, I can tell you that there has been no further discussion about any hours being cut for paraprofessionals past that 15 minutes for the next school year. And I'm happy to share some of the other background information on that for clarity, and we'll do so also publicly with questions and answers with that. When you talk about the question about what do our students with special needs bring into the district, those are B weights, and you all have a revised 2024 budget either in hand or there's extra copies on the outside. It's also, there's the QR code that was there for it. Depending on the needs of the students, they bring in varying weights. And so, yes, they do bring in, depending on the need, an additional money to the base money that Kathy spoke of before. So we do have a population of approximately 17% of our student population has special needs. And so it depends on their disability for the multiplier of that number. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just add a little bit to that also. The special ed funding has been something that has been brought to the attention of legislators each year. What we bring in is less than what we spend on special ed. In the last couple of years, we have seen some significant increases in certain weights, which has been very helpful. But it still is less than the expenditures.
I can show you what page, Crystal, on that if you want to look at the disability categories and the weights as well on that. Dallin? So talking about teacher experience index first, or is that what you're referring to? So when you're talking about our school letter grades, is that what you mean, Dallin, or referring to? Okay, so first of all, when we talk about school letter grades, there's not additional funds coming into that. However, we capitalize on our school letter grades as well by not only being eligible for other recognitions, but also in terms of promoting the excellence within the education that we have, such as Payson High School receiving the A grade. When we talk about teacher experience index, that's all dependent on the years of experience that our teachers have. And so every year we'd have to turn in a report that shows every teacher and how many years they've had to receive that multiplier. We can't change it. It's strictly based on their years experience as an educator on there for what that dollar amount that comes into play. I hope I'm answering your question there. Do you have anything to add to that?
The program that Katrina was referring to earlier, what's it called, Katrina? Results-based funding. That was a multiplier that school districts received. They had to be like in the top 5% of the letter grade and be in a certain poverty level. That program phased out last year, so results-based funding is no longer available to school districts.
Any others? Yes, Pete. Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to kind of go back. Our budget shortfall in terms of, yes, are we feeling a pinch this year? Yes, we are feeling a pinch, which kind of ties into every place feeling it to some degree. I know Crystal mentioned as a paraprofessional the pinch of some time within their schedule there as well. The board has spent since late January, early February, and continues to do so on budget discussions of what changes within there. We, again, I want to stress, have been fiscally sound to ensure, especially during the ability to have ESSER funds or federal funds to help support COVID relief, to be cognizant to ensure that we can maintain our teaching positions as we continue on. And we are able to do so because of being diligent about having a reserve in M&O to be able to pick those up once ESSER funds are obsolete. If we get to, which is actually our third meeting presentation that we will spend much time on, and the board currently it will be on the agenda item on May 13th board meeting to call for an override. If they choose to do so, it is a board's decision. If they choose to call for that and that election is not successful in November, then when you look at what the override funds, which we will go into great detail on April 11th about, and then on the 20th, I believe it's the 5th if I'm not mistaken, what potentially could be cut or could hurt, but you're looking at having to cut a budget of about $700,000 for 3 years, with the first year being year 25-26. And when you look at that in numbers of staff or teachers, that's approximately 9 teaching positions. Right. We have about 5 minutes to close out, and I'm going to ask Audra to come up and just kind of close our evening tonight. There is still an opportunity to continue to ask questions here for you, which you will need your phones, as well as there's a hard copy that I'll let you click.
We just wanted to thank you all for coming tonight. I know you all had busy lives you need to get to, but we're very thankful that you came out tonight. And the QR code's right here. We value your input, and will take you to a survey where you can give us feedback on the presentation and submit further questions. And also, if you don't want to use the QR code, there's paper copies in the lobby that you can also use.
Just a minute if you want to take your phones out, your camera. Four questions, if I'm not mistaken. Rather short.
It's the same formula.
Yeah, same formula.
We're going to have a short presentation, but after we're going to put up our contact information. So as you leave, our contact information will be here, and we'd be happy for you to contact us and make an appointment, meet with us at the district office, and meet with you one-on-one. And we have business cards also up in the lobby, and we'll be hanging around for questions as well.
With that, before we
I did want to go over that we are having, how do I get rid of that? We are having our next meeting in the series of 3 will be April the 11th. It's the same time, same place, 5 to 6 o'clock here in the auditorium. We'll be covering what is a budget continuation or the override, what is directly supported with the budget continuation, what do we use the funds for, and how does PUSD reflect Payson values? How does the school district reflect Payson's values? So we really hope to see you on the 11th. We will also have follow-up on our website from this meeting as well. Okay, and again, we thank you for showing up tonight and supporting local schools by being here tonight, and we want to show you a short presentation.
Earlier this year, we spoke about the Longhorn legends of the past and the importance of leaving a legacy for future generations. We knew there would be hurdles to overcome, but you continued to show up. Our teachers taught with all their effort and with an incredible amount of love. Our staff never stopped making sure our students had the best possibility to succeed. Our students worked relentlessly at improving in the classroom, on the field or court, and in their extracurricular activities. We performed beautifully in all the performances, and most importantly, we had a lot of fun. You showed how strong we can be when we stand as a herd. You showed what it meant to be a part of the purple and gold. As we say goodbye to another class of Longhorns, we can only be excited for the stampede that's coming in the years ahead.
How lucky we are to have had another year of building healthy relationships that make saying goodbye so hard. Wherever your next step may lead you, remember, you will always be part of the Longhorn family.
Thank you. That concludes our presentation for this evening. Happy to be here to share it.